knife, having dinner with my eyes. So sweet, so nice, have a slice of apple pie. Wanna see my mind, baby, you just join my ride. Getting ready for the weekend, popping bubbles through the ceiling. Sure, I got dough, but don't need it, 'cause all I want is your healing. Your healing. I'm the cool kid from the block. I'm the one calling all the shots. Whether you're ready or not, I'm about to pump this place up. I'm the cool kid from the block. I'm the one calling all the shots. Whether you're ready or not, I'm about to plant it, drop. We're spinning on a loop all night. Ride his backseat while he eats my soup for lunch. Feeling dizzy, flying with Lucy in the sky. Think he likes me, but baby, I just do this for fun. Are you ready for the weekend? Popping bubbles through the ceiling. Sure, I got dough, but don't need it, 'cause all I want is your healing. I'm the cool kid from the block. I'm the one calling all the shots. Whether you're ready or not, I'm about to plant it, drop. Yeah, I'm the best you ever had, but you would ever understand that I don't really need a man.
You can just use them. I don't care.
I'm the cool kid from the block. I'm the one calling all the shots. Whether you're ready or not, I'm about to plant it. I'm the cool kid from the block. I'm the one calling all the shots. Whether you're ready or not, I'm about to pump this place up. I'm the cool kid from the block. I'm the one calling all the shots. Whether you're ready or not, I'm about to plant it, drop.
Hi, I think everything should be working. The technicalities seem to be working. The audio seems to be working. I'm not muted this time. Now, I am just realized that this is probably the worst time to come on, but because it's a test, I just sort of wanted to see if I could get everything working. And even if I get one person to come in, it lets me know that the notifications have gone out, the link has worked, I can see the chat, and everything hooks up, and everything the way that I've done it works. But until I see that one person in the stream, I don't know that the members chat's actually gone out. So we'll just sort of sit here and do our thing for a little bit until somebody comes along, and I'll just chit chat for the replay. So yeah, so guys, I'm really hoping that this is it, that I've cracked it. And I didn't call any experts. I just did Googling, and then I did the tried and true tech phobe thing of I just clicked shit until it worked. Honestly, I just clicked toggles. I found out how to pop the chat out on a separate screen that's nice and big. Created links, fiddled around in Creative Studio. Hopefully this is linked up with StreamYards. I can see it on a sock account that I've created. It's basically me again, but just no subs or anything. I've received all of it. I'm buying my own membership so I can see if this is working or not. Now, all I need is just one person to pop in to let me know that it's working. That's all I need. I know Skinny got the notification. I received the notification. Whether it's a bad time for the 50 people that have subscribed, I'm not too sure. But if this works, I'll know that it works at a better time. But in the meantime, I have taken the time to edit Chantal's Q&A from today, and I've just mucked about with some filters and really just as a practice to try and see if I can figure out how the editor that I'm using works, and I'm getting more proficient at it. Still not great. Okay, so this is what I realistically want from an editor. I want iMovies so I can see where all my splits and my transitions are, because I can't figure out how to make it bigger so I can play within that CapCut. I like how it literally splits from the thing that I want to see to the very next. It doesn't have like an overlap. What else? I like the simplicity of the backgrounds. I like where I can place things and just expand it. I want the overlays and the background removal that CapCut can provide, and I literally want to be able to add text and everything from Canva. So when somebody comes out with an editor that combines all three of those three apps together, let me know, because I like the ease of iMovie, but I can't find it on the desktop. Desktop just doesn't work as easy as the stuff that you use on the phone, but I can't get the large files on my phone. So it's just, yeah, I don't know. That's just how it works. So I'll go for 15. And if nobody comes in, I'll just close off the live. But at least I'll know that this kind of works. Kind of works. It technically works, but I don't know if it's the right time. But anyway, how's everybody's Easter going? What did I do for Easter today? I slept in. I'm feeling a lot better from my cold. However, I think I've pulled something in my back from all the lying around I was doing from my back. My back's just not used to being that inactive. And I think this chair might not be the most supportive. I might need to look at getting a new chair if I'm going to be sitting in it for quite a long time, or adjusting it for a better position. I gave my husband his favorite Easter egg for Easter that he gets every year, which is the Humpty Dumpty egg. And then Mum came over and she gave us a box each of chocolates, and she gave me Maltesers. And I'm like, thank you, I appreciate the gift, Mum, but everybody knows I actually hate Maltesers. How do you not know this about me? I detest them. That's why my husband's so happy that I don't like them, is because he doesn't have to share them with me, which is fantastic, because they can literally sit in the cupboard and I will never touch them. I hate Maltesers, and I got an entire box for Easter. So he now has 2 boxes and I have none, but that's okay, because I knew that he would forget to buy me something. So I bought myself a box of caramel, a little bag of individual caramello koalas, and that was my Easter chocolate. So I hope everybody's having a very safe Easter. Hi, Terry Lynn. Hi, Christy Claw. Oh my God, it's working. I want to cry. I want to cry. Oh my God. And I can see the chat. I can't highlight anything, but I can see what you're saying. It works, but I'm in the US and it's 5 a.m. I know it's super early, guys. I'm really sorry, but I got to work in the morning, and it was really just a test run. And I thought maybe there'd be 2 or 3 people who might be early risers, or might be insomniacs, who might just be up early for the kids, getting stuff organized or getting lunches or dinners ready for Easter. And I thought now would be a good time for a test run, because if it doesn't work, then I haven't mucked a whole bunch of people around, you know what I mean? But it works. I could cry. I'm so happy. I do see the chat, Cherilyn. It just it's on the left of me. So I was looking here and then I didn't see the movement, but now I can see you. You're up early for cats. Christy calls, oh, guys, I want to give you hugs, 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 and kisses. I simply worked this out just by clicking stuff. I did a little bit of Googling. I read some stuff, and then I just started clicking and adding links and hoping that this hooked up with StreamYards and the order that I did it in was incorrect. It was correct, and I made it work. But I can only do it from a PC, so I can't do it from outside. I can't do outside streams. I can't seem to get members only working that way. So it'll be all inside ones, but my little videos will still be made. I'll be doing some members only videos for you guys. Hugs, I know. So what's up? How many cats have you got, Christy? Have you just got the one, or you said cats, so that sounds like multiples. And the weather is oh my God, it is starting. Easter for us is when it starts to get cool, and it's really nice camping weather for us. But today's the first day that I've had to wear like long pants and a layer, and I couldn't really have the aircon all day because it was a bit too cold. Just two's good. Are they friends or do they fight? Because I want to get another cat, but I'm worried my older cat might not like a kitten or another older cat, and that puts me off getting it because I don't want to have a new cat that's been terrorized by my old cat, and my old cat, who's very sensitive to change, being put out by a new cat. And if I adopt a cat, I'm never getting rid of it, but I can't live with discord. So it puts me off getting another one, but I want one so badly. I just want like a farm of animals. Just two. They ignore each other. Well, that's better than fighting, though, isn't it? That's much better than fighting. I'd rather have cats that ignore each other than cats that are just constantly at each other. What do they do to wake you up, Christy? Do they bang on your door? Do they meow loudly? What do? They ignore each other. Yeah. I wonder how cats would have to actively ignore each other though, right? Like it would have to be a deliberate act. It couldn't be just like, oh, holy crap, there's another cat here. Never noticed. They would have to deliberately be like, bro, you stay on your side and I'll stay on my side, and never the two shall meet. Yeah, I'll buy the bed for food. Oh, God. My cat, honestly, he knows once I'm up, well, I get up, and then he's like, okay, now it's feeding time. Like it's literally the other way around. He doesn't come and wake me up to be fed. He goes, oh, she's awake. Now's the time to go and ask. It's weird. He's got very good manners, my boy. He's a very well-mannered little chap. And I bought him a cat tower, I'd say about 3 years ago, thinking this will be nice. It's coming into winter. It'll give him a little, it's just a pedestal with a bowl on it. And then it's got a scratching post part and then like a little cat dome underneath it so they can crawl into it. Or if he wants to scratch it, he can. Or if he wants to sit up high, he can. I paid $140 for this because it's very good quality and it fits in with my decor. He's probably slept in it twice. He has been sleeping in it nonstop for the last 3 days, and he's been sitting and grooming himself on the floor. Now, you have no idea what a remarkable step this is, because he has been playing the floor is lava game for the last nearly 2 years, and he's starting to feel comfortable on the floor again. Like his mental health's getting better. He's less anxious. And I'm like, yay. And he's eating out of his bowl from the floor too. So it's like something shifted, which is wonderful. Good morning, Ghost. Hi, Ghost. I'm members only. I think I've cracked it. I absolutely think I've cracked it. Thank you. I know it's a ridiculous hour of the morning, but I figured it would be a lull time. That way, if it doesn't work out and I've messed up, not too many people are going to be disturbed, but a full little handful might come through and be able to join the chat. So are you up early for Easter, or are you prepping, or are you just an early riser? They each have claimed on. They've got their own territory. Hey, Christy. That's amazing. Now, I can't see how many people are in the chat, but I can see each comment. So, look at me go. And it's massive chat. Like this whole screen is just live chat. Woohoo. Now, do we want to watch something? Do we want to see if, I know there's only the 4 of us here, but it's a great little number. I have done a little bit of filter and overlaying to Chantal's Q&A. I haven't watched all of it. I kind of have. I was listening in the background while it was rendering and stuff. But did you guys want to listen to that, or have you already listened to it? I just want to test it out basically to see if A, my editing worked, and B, if I can share it with you guys. What do you reckon? I might do it just as a test, and if we hate it and we don't want to see anymore, we'll trade it off. Because then that way, if I do my little videos, we can watch them together. I just want to see if it works, that's all, realistically. Let's give it a spin, woohoo! Yeah, you guys are my guinea pigs, all right? And we'll be able to see if the audio works, because that's always my biggest problem. Okay.
I miss you guys so bad.
Okay. That's the format that I like. Okay, now let's see if the audio works too.
It's been a little while. So I did post a few days ago on my community tab area that I wanted to do a Q&A just to give you guys a chance to ask me some questions. And so I thought I would do that today. Okay, so the order.
Okay, so since you're a pagan, Easter is not relevant to you, Ghost. So what would be the equivalent for you? Would it be this, because it's coming into spring, there's got to be some sort of, because as the seasons change, the harvest change, the earth elements change, like what do you do instead of Easter? I used to be very much into the Wiccan stuff, the pagan stuff when I was in my early 20s. I haven't really looked into it a lot, but I know that the seasons play a lot into it. And a lot of the pagan faiths have been stolen by some of the religions because they're monumental, they're significant. The earth, the animals, the seasons, they're all part and parcel. They just happen to be coincidentally part of other religions and faiths. So yeah, it's all just muddled up, isn't it? Okay. I have put a filter over this, and it has tended to highlight her blemishes. I don't know whether it's exaggerating. I think it's probably exaggerating it, but I think it's just bringing out what's there that's sort of like concealed by makeup and stuff like that. It may be making her look worse than she actually does, but it's just sort of bringing up her blemishes. But that's just overlaying some color onto it. So, but I put a little camcorder filter because I wanted to make it look hostage-like, and I wanted to make it old school because Chantal's an old school kind of gal. You know, she's not very tech savvy. She likes to go back to the Samsung. She likes the filters. So I thought I would be representative of that in my editing. Yes. What do you think? Okay. I know she does have ruddy cheeks though, but I think on that English skin, when it's cold, that Irish blue eyes and the red hair, and then when the cold wind hit the skin, they get little pink nose and they get the little red cheeks. I think that looks beautiful. I think that makes them look fresh and clear, and you can sense the cold crispness in the air. Chantal doesn't give you that effect. But anyway, let's see what she has to say.
I'm going to answer these. I'm looking at the top comments first. If I don't want to answer a question, I will just pass it. Unfortunately, I'll skip it, I should say. All right, I'm going to pause here for a minute because I want to explain that I know I posted on my community tab that this would be a candid Q&A, meaning I would open up a bit more, which is what you guys are used to me doing. However, while I was editing, I realized that there's some things I just really am not comfortable talking about. So I really want to keep...
Basically, she's saying all of the questions you actually would like to have answered, I'm not going to answer because I've already either told fibs about them, or I deem them inappropriate because of misinformation, or they might tell on me if I actually give you the right information. Basically, I'm curating it, and this Q&A is meaningless because none of the questions that people really want to know about are going to be answered. That's basically what that little disclaimer at the front is.
A lot of privacy for myself. So I'm going to answer more general questions, things that I'm in general, I guess, just comfortable answering. So if I omitted your question, I apologize. I thank you for asking it, but there are some things I'm going to keep to myself for my own good, my own mental health and well-being. Thanks for understanding, guys. It's just that it might be too personal, or I just don't want to answer it. But there's a lot of things that I want to keep private in my private life. Something I know that you guys are still not really used to, but maybe someday you will be. I'm still getting used to it too. I have a motor mouth. I'm an open book, you guys know. So
I'm going to write those down, Ghost, and I'm going to look into those a little bit, and maybe we could do a little bit of an exploration. If we're willing to explore Ramadan and Christianity and other faiths and beliefs, why don't we look into some of more of the really old religions and some paganisms? Paganism isn't just the worship of the D word, it's other things, as some of us who have dabbled would know. So let's have a look. I'm going to write them down while the video runs.
So, just a note also, whatever questions I don't get around to, I will do this in a series, so you can go ask questions if you want. The post will still be up, but I'll do a little series of it. So if I don't get around to your question in this one, it might be in the next one, okay? So, Taliu asked, would you ever take classes to prepare for a different line of work? Oh my gosh, I've been out of a real, like, I guess, real job, you know, a conventional job, since 2000, maybe 16 or 17. And, I don't even know, like, how that would be. Would I be opposed to going back to school, though, and learning, like, a new skill or something like that? No, I wouldn't be. At the point I'm in.
Do we think the reality of Chantal going back to school is, I think, like to upskill or upgrade or anything like that for a real job? Because I don't think that would be a reality, because she doesn't really have the motivation. Like she's not motivated in the right way to do it. But I do think, see, this is why I'm not allowed to hold pens, you know. What I think would be a really good idea for her would be perhaps to take some online courses on editing, on filmography, on cinematography, on social media, management, marketing, that sort of stuff. Because if YouTube's going to be her thing and going to be her only mainstay for a source of income, wouldn't it be great to upskill yourself to manage one channel really well, and then maybe offshoot on some smaller channels to create some other income, or learn about merchandising, get that going, like upskill in a way that's appropriate for her, instead of just completely changing tack and learning in a way or learning a topic that she's not even interested in. That's not going to really serve her, because I don't see the potentiality of her ever going back into the normative workplace.
My life right now, I feel like I have so much to take care of. And I know it might sound like, for people who don't really believe in God or anything like that, I believe in destiny, you know, through God. And I think that
that is true, because witch is used to villainize people, saying that they're a nasty witch, or, you know, she's got a witch cackle or whatever. Because I know there's people in here who are probably like, we don't believe in that stuff. Well, there are people out there that are witches and who do believe in their faith and their religion. Witches start off neither good nor bad. It's their magics that are good or bad. Their intentions are good or bad. And it's the kind of magics that they practice that is white or dark. That is what it is. So technically she's talking about dark witches or dark magic. Witches are neutral until they either go in one direction or another. So she is using a derogatory term, but in all honesty, ghost, it's so been used in such a harsh way for so long. I don't think there's a movement that's going to change people's minds about that one, because people's minds are set on that. But I understand that if you're a practitioner of that, that would be hurtful, very hurtful, because you're like, I'm one of the good guys. I'm not hurting anybody, and that's what I am. And you're literally using that word as a negative to describe another person. And that would hurt your heart, I would think.
he has a plan mapped out for me. And I think me not being in a traditional job right now, I couldn't handle, you know. I think that I have the ability to do something that I love, and that I can just kind of still have the time to focus on my well-being. I feel really blessed for that, but I feel also like I need it. Like, it's not like, I feel like all of this time that I don't have spending on a normal.
I've just thought of a great idea for a video, and it's inspired by Ghost. I'm going to see if I can make mead. It just the use of merry meat. And I know that mead or old grains is often used for altars and stuff like that as an offering. But that is just something I just popped into my head. I'm going to see if I can make mead. See? Influencing each other.
Job. I say normal for lack of a better term. Any way you earn money to me and any way that you pay your bills or support yourself is a job, in my opinion. And it takes all kinds of people to do all kinds of jobs to make the world go around, right? So, but learning new things and everything, if I'm at a place in the future where I'm super healthy and I'm just in a really good place, maybe, you never know, inshallah, like it could happen. Thank you for the question. Fire Mistake asks, do you have a certain amount of calories you're aiming for daily, or are you just playing it by feel for now? Yeah, I don't count calories or anything like that. I don't even weigh myself. My gym doesn't have a scale. And
We have seen how much rice she's eating, And in her latest vlog, she did mention that she didn't eat all of that rice. So she's obviously caught on to the feedback that people are giving her is that rice, the rice, no matter what else she eats in the day, if she's consuming the rice that is given to her with every portion of food, she's just undoing any good work that she's realistically doing, weight loss wise. Other than the weight loss, the extra movement that she's doing, the completion of a task, the good hormones and everything that are going to be running through her body after a workout and being more active, and the positive mindset that she's going to get from actually achieving something. This is all assuming that she's doing what she says she's doing. So we're just going to go on the assumption she's not lying about going to the gym and she's actually going and she's actually physically working out and blah, 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 blah. That is all good. But the calorie deficit and the working out, if she is not realistically trying to eat under her daily required intake, she's not going to get any weight loss, but she will get some positive outcomes from just the movement and just the mental accomplishments. But the weight loss is not going to happen. And if that doesn't happen when she does weigh herself, how does she not have a baseline? How does she know she's not losing weight if she hasn't weighed herself? Do we actually believe she hasn't weighed herself? Because I don't think so. Because she used to be obsessive about her, not obsessive, but she used to be quite focused on her weight, and she would weigh herself at home and she broke the one, and she always sort of knew where she was sitting. So I actually don't believe she hasn't weighed herself. I think she has, and she just doesn't want to say, because if she knows the number, people are going to ask.
We haven't purchased one yet. So I'm just starting small. For me, that's usually how I do it, through like a process of elimination, I guess. So I just, right now I'm starting by not drinking soda and not eating fast food and going to the gym. I've been going at least 5 times a week is what I'm aiming for. And just because I'm so busy with, like, we have 3 channels to manage now, and just like between everything else, like, you know, family, Ramadan, prayer, just cooking, cleaning, just everyday life.
Family, she said family then, and she said the 3 channels. So we've added the ASMR channel, she's got the couples vlogging channel, and then she's got the Chantal channel, which is a bit fuzzy because she did say that she's only going to be doing edited content. So this is edited content uploaded to the Chantal, the Q&A. So that's an easy one. That's simple, easy content to do. Sit there, pick the questions that you want to answer, talk, and then you edit it down and you put it out. Get the views, blah, blah, blah. It's not going to help with super chats or anything, but that's fine. It's getting views, getting revenue. But then the Chantal, the vlogs, they will get some views. The ASMR have apparently got some good views. I don't know whether it's just because people are curious and they want to see what it's about. And then the views will drop after that because they're like, these are boring and bullcrap and we don't want to watch it. Or there are people who are genuinely into that kind of ASMR driving videos. I'm not really into ASMR, but what I am into is I like watching those dash cam videos. Do you guys watch those? Wait, look, you can't out exercise a bad diet. That's basically it. You have to eat well and do movement as well. But yeah, the dash cam, I like the sound of driving, like the indicators, the steering wheel, the keys jangling, the cap. I like the noises that you get when you're driving and the road sounds. I really enjoy that. But it's not a driving video until you hear somebody cursing out another driver for cutting them off, or you hear a "Say, get out of the way, you dumb C." I like those kind of videos. I don't like the ASMR driving videos where it's just scenery. I like the driving, like taxi drivers and normal driving and the talking and the radio. That's the kind of ASMR that I like. I don't know how. I haven't watched that channel. I probably won't because I'm not really that interested. But there might be some people who don't know Chantal who might watch.
Stuff that I find on a normal day overwhelming. You know, it's like, I'm getting used to juggling so many things in my life now that I didn't when I was in Canada. I was just, you know, neglecting life and everything and just in a really darker place. So now that I'm trying to do all of these things, juggle all of these things,
she's not in a dark place in Kuwait anymore. She's in a much lighter, happier, well-adjusted place. since she's gotten married, her life has completely changed. It's nothing like it was in Canada anymore. She's a new person.
I find that if I had to add in counting calories and all this and that, it would just be kind of overwhelming for me, and I'd probably give up. I know myself by now after many, many failed attempts.
But honestly, that's a good strategy. Changing two things at once. Getting a new routine, going to the gym, setting a time, I'm going to the gym today. Just that statement, that's it, I'm going to the gym. Cutting out the sugar in the soda, fantastic. A lot of people are like, don't drink diet sodas, don't drink diet sodas, don't drink sugar-free ones. If you're somebody like Chantal who's drinking like 2 to 3 liters of soda every day, just to say to them, don't drink it anymore, just have water or something else is just not really an answer. Going to a diet soda is a good substitute. And then if you can substitute half of that soda for another kind of healthier drink, like a flavored water or bubbling water or mineral water or a fruit, infused water, and then eventually whittle that down to you only having soda every now and again, fantastic. But to just completely cut it out is not doable. And then trying to substitute less rice with more good stuff, these are good changes. Whether she can sustain them for a long time, that is where that's where she falls apart. So the ideas are there, but whether she pulls them off, that's the question.
At weight loss. So I'm just taking it easy for now, and once I
Yeah,
get the
she's
hang
not
of
really
things,
changed much,
then
has
I
she,
can
Chrissy?
try to add in those kind of things, keeping track. But I generally just kind of stick to whole foods and portion controlling as much as I can. Like you see us ordering out those big plates of rice.
Portion control as much as I can. Portion control as much as I can. Yes. I mean, it sounds redundant though, like you have a portion, you eat it, that's what it is. But Chantal's coming from a place where she is a prolific and she's been a binge eater for a very, very long time. So portion control for her would probably be literally the most difficult part of this whole process. So cutting down and eating, but she see, this is the thing, I don't think she understands what a natural portion is. I think a smaller portion for her is still an extremely large portion for us, but reduction of her calories is where she needs to be. But whether she's reduced them enough to actually make a deficit, but to keep her satiated, that's where she's got to find that line. I'm not an expert, I'm not a diet expert, but I'm a person who's been on a lot of diets, and I'm a person that understands portion control, like being able to try and portion control yourself as a fat person and somebody who overeats. It's not as simple as you just eat what's in front of you and then the urge to eat just goes away. It's a mental game.
Well, I don't think the rice itself is what's bad. I think it's how much you eat of it, because if you look at some of many nations, many countries.
I think she has to sit on the sofa, to be honest, because I don't think the table, I think her tummy may be too big for her to get close enough to the table. And I'm not saying that to be cruel. I'm just saying that from somebody who used to have a body that would be a limitation for me. It would be difficult to get close to the table because your tummy would be in the way. And we know they've got like that little 2 table thing with the 2 little chairs. And where it's positioned would be an awful place to sit down and eat. I think the sofa is probably the most comfortable and logistically the easiest place for her to eat from.
Many populations, whatever you want to say, some people eat rice 3 times a day in some countries. So it's just they don't have obesity problems. It depends on your activity level. It depends on what else you're eating. It depends on how much you're eating, in my opinion. So I'm just trying to be more mindful of what I'm putting in my mouth, but not so calculated. I hope that makes sense. Thank you for your question. Okay, Molly Stewart asked.
It does seem odd that they eat together, but they don't really eat together. I would ideally, what do you guys think? If I was them and I was doing a live stream and we absolutely had to eat together, I would set it up so that we're both sitting on the floor on either end of that little coffee table that they've got. I'd put the camera or the iPad or whatever camera they're using on a stand, and I would set it back so that we're both in shot. You can see the food on the table and that you can see us eating family style, passing each other food, putting the food together and eating. That's how I would set it up. So it looks like we're more having a meal together, like where the two, Chantal and Sala, are eating together, and they're actually sharing a meal with us instead of just sitting there and just Chantal eating, like, which is gross. But wouldn't that feel more intimate and more like coupley? I mean, we'd probably still hate it, but I feel like that would be a more like aesthetically pleasing, and like hearing it, we wouldn't hear the mouth sounds as much because the camera would be and the microphone would be a bit further away, and it would be more comfortable. They could look at each other and talk instead of like him sitting behind her. Maybe he doesn't like to watch her eat. I don't know, but it is very strange that they don't eat together.
Asks, how did you start going bald? My sister's experiencing the same issues and wanted to know if you had any indications from a doctor or anything when you noticed it starting to thin.
Or they could turn the lights down, put some lamps on in the background, maybe some little candles, make it nice and romantic or just intimate feeling. And if it's during the daytime, I mean, they could put a nice background up or something. They could put some nice cushions around. They could dress up their background a bit, make it very Middle Eastern, like stereotypically Middle Eastern, with some beautiful, like silk and satin embroidered pillows and some nice artworks. I mean, Salah's little Syrian picture could be up behind the lounge where we could see it all the time instead of the dirty wall where it's currently hanging, probably covering a hole or something, or some mold or a crack. Like, put some effort. If this is your job and this is where you're streaming from, create the ambiance that people want to see. You're trying to create the illusion of a loving couple. Create that environment where it's intimate and sweet and alluring. Excuse me.
Oh boy. I saw an endocrinologist a long time ago and they suspected hormonal imbalance. It was so long ago that I don't even remember what they said to me, honestly.
I think she meant an endocrinologist for the endocrine system. I think that's right. I'm not a medical expert, but I think that's an endocrinologist was the word that she was trying to use then.
I should have kept notes, but you know how I'm not organized, especially with health things. Inshallah, that will change. But I don't know. I just noticed maybe in like 2010.
I know it's super early for you guys, but my drink of choice tonight is ice cold Pepsi Max in my favorite cup that keeps everything really, really cold or everything really, really hot. I love it. With my boba straws. I bought these because I handmade some boba once and I needed the big boba straws to eat the things, but now I just love it because it's it's got a really big hole. So it's a really good delivery system. Like, you can get a lot down really fast. Their conversations are really weird. They're very awkward. I don't get it. Maybe it's a language barrier. I don't know.
My hair started really just getting thinner and thinner.
French
And
vanilla. Yum.
I noticed somebody had made a comment on it, started making comments on it, and it made me insecure about it at the time. And you know, I think maybe a few years later they came out with that like hair powder that I noticed, the kaboki, the hair fibers, and I started using those.
I did a little bit of research before I got online about collagen peptides. Now, collagen peptides is mainly designed for ligaments in the treatment of osteoporosis. This is for bones, joints, ligaments, skin. It's not really for the hair. It's more for the skin. And she goes on to say that it's making her skin feel firmer, which is absolute crap. That is what is that word? That's that placebo effect. Collagen doesn't work like that. Directly applied to the face, maybe in a cream or something like that, you can get a temporary effect, but it's not going to make everything feel really good. And you usually get the best type is from food, but you can take it if you need it, but collagen's not going to help her get her hair back. So, I mean, she can spend all this money on it if she wants to, but there's just not enough research out there to say that it actually improves your skin in that way. And immediately she'd have to be on it for a long time, plus a good diet and plus other factors. But I think the worst thing for her skin probably is the heat.
Honestly, I think
Sweat,
it's a combination
bacteria,
of things for me,
blah,
if
blah.
I'm being quite honest. What I think is that it's just like when I had my hysterectomy, that probably didn't help with the hormonal issues. I think it's a mixture of hormonal issues. Also, being obese, factoring that in with having such a poor diet for so many years of just
I don't know a lot about it because I haven't looked into it. which I probably should because I have a history of breast cancer in my family, but I'm 45, so I'm going to be moving into, I'm in my perimenopausal phase. So I'm not actually perimenopausal, I'm in the stage before that. That hormonal treatment may be an option for me, but there is some, studies regarding cancer and the risk factors and blah, 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 and testing and all that stuff. So, but hormones definitely affect your skin quality, your nails, your general health, your hair, how your body heals itself. So I would have thought that somebody as vain as Chantal would have looked at hormone therapy well before now, considering how radically it affects your sex life, your lower regions, your weight, your heat, it affects so much of a female's anatomy that you would have thought that she would have somebody who's so, ultra feminine, I'm ultra feminine, she would have looked into hormone therapy a long time ago as a way to keep her, bounciness bouncy.
Eating fast food and hardly enough fruits and vegetables and vitamins and
Yeah.
minerals. If you lack nutrition in your body, I don't know how you can expect to have a full growth of hair. Although some people do,
Christy, I can't do hazelnut. Hazelnut is Maltesers hazelnut. Can't do it. No, sorry. Maybe if we sat down and have a cup of coffee together, you can have your hazelnut. I'll have the vanilla or a caramel one. We'll have to learn to agree to disagree. But I hope it's a delicious cup of hazelnut coffee for you. I've looked around for those flavored creamers and I can get them on Amazon. They're like $20 a bottle. It's so expensive. I can't get them here like you guys can get all the fancy sugarless flavored ones.
But I'm not one of those people. Also genetic. A lot of my family members, even female family members.
Ghost, is it your birthday on the 14th of this month? Oh, let me write that down. 14th of April. 47. Perfect. I know stuff now.
Have hair thinning. So yeah, my mom has a little bit thicker hair than me, but her hair is pretty thin as well. So things that I'm in
Wait. Christy, you're a twin? I didn't know that. I've never even thought to ask anybody. That's amazing. Are you fraternal? Are you identical? I know you probably get asked about twin stuff all the time, but it's fascinating. Yeah. So, like, what's the dealio? Are you identicals? Raven, shut up. What are the chances we'd have two Maltese in the chat all at one time? And hello, Raven. Hello. Oh, wow, that's so cool. Okay, so I'm going to make notes so I can remember all this stuff because once I write it down, it gets locked in the brain. So Ghost's birthday, Raven's a triplet, and Christy is a twin. Oh, my God. That's amazing. I find that all fascinating. I know you guys are probably like constantly asked about it, but I do find it, people, it's interesting. It's interesting to people that 3 babies can come out of one person all at the same time. 2 babies can come out of a whole person at the same time. Like there's barely enough room in there for one.
General, I guess, just comfortable answering. So if I omitted your question, I apologize. I thank you for asking it, but there are some things I'm going to keep to myself for my own good, my own mental health and well.
Was it a phone? Was it an iPhone, Ghost?
Yeah. Thanks for understanding, guys. It's just that it might be too personal or I just don't want to answer it.
Christy, you are living like a Hallmark movie right there. My great grandma and my great auntie married brothers as well in a small country town. And there's quite the scandal. Maybe I'll make that a story time. I'll do a story time after that regarding that. Gigi and GA. I'll have to make a note so I remember to write that one down. But yes, scandals. That's amazing. They're not twins though, are they? Did you meet at one of those twin conventions and twins married twins? Here's a formula. If two sets of twins get married and make babies, what are the chances that the cousins are going to look almost identical as well, or very, very similar to each other, because the genetics combination, like, that is insane. Oh, that's so cute. I know, but you probably
But there's a
all,
lot of
oh, sorry.
things.
Right, I reckon with triplets, unless there's some random recessive genes in there, even if you're not identical, people can look at them and go, yeah, they're totes related. That has to be your brother, right? And identical twins, that's good because you can always convince the other twin to get like that real risque haircut that you've always wanted to try, but you're too scared. And if they get it and it looks good on them, you can go and get it too. But if it looks absolutely shit house, you're like, you look great, sis, but I'm never getting that haircut because we look terrible. You could always experiment on them, right? That would if, and is there an evil twin and a good twin? And does that scenario work with triplets as well? Is there a good triplet, a bad triplet, and then a neutral triplet, or two baddies, two goodies? What's the dynamic like? That must have been insane for your parents to try and raise 3 kids of the same age all together. Oh my God, the logistics just blows my mind.
That I want to keep private in my private life. Something I know that you guys are still not really used to, but maybe someday you will be. I'm still getting used to it too. You know, I have a motor mouth. I'm an open book, you guys know. So just a note also, whatever questions I don't get around to, I will do this in series, so you can go ask questions if you want.
That's the thing. That's the thing I was thinking, Christy, is like the DNA would literally be half and half. So they'd be closer than cousins. They would be more like siblings because oh my God, that is crazy. Wow. Oh, that just blew my mind.
The post will still be up, but I'll do a little series of it. So if I don't get around to your question in this one, it might be in the next one, okay?
I know she's talking, but whatever. Yes, I have heard this as well, that because my grandma had siblings that are twins, and it does. It seems to have like skipped everyone. Like me or my sister were expected to have twins because of the generation. Like my mum didn't have twins, but she may have. Like she didn't really get it off. She didn't have many kids, but my sister or I were expecting to have twins. So my son's probably not going to have any, so it'll end there. But yeah, there's twins on my side of my maternal side of the family, but not my paternal side of the family. So that's probably why none of the kids from my grandma have had twins, because it's only from one parent. It's stronger when you've got both sides of the family, like, and they skip the generations at the same time, and then they collide, and you're like, twin palooza.
So, Talia asked, would you ever take classes to prepare for a different line of work?
Well, good on you,
my gosh,
Raven. That doesn't make you the bad one. That just means that you're the one that ended up with the bad coping mechanism. That doesn't make you the bad person. Just the circumstances worked out not in your favor. But you've overcome it, and you've overcome it for 5 years. You're still overcoming it. So good on you, girl. Good on you.
Out of a real, like, I guess, real job, you know, a conventional job, since 2000, maybe 16 or 17. And I don't even know, like, how that would be. Would I be opposed to going back to school, though, and learning, like, a new skill or
Oh, were you close to your mum, Raven? Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can probably empathize a little bit with that. My dad didn't pass away, but he wasn't really in my life. He passed away when I was an adult. But that's a lot for a little kid to process. And then, of course, having addiction in the family, it usually carries on to the kids, unfortunately. But it looks like you've broken the cycle, which is wonderful.
something like that? No, I wouldn't be. At the point I'm in my life right now, I feel like I have so much to take care of. And I know it might sound like, for people who don't really believe in God or anything like that, I believe in destiny, you know, through God. And I think that he has a plan mapped out for me. And I think me
Just Saying did a little video the other day, which I watched, and there was a clip of Chantal talking about religion. She's going, oh, you know, the ones that talk about God the most usually turn out to be the worst ones. God, they're so annoying. that was words from her that she said probably less than 6 months ago. And now look at where she is. Just, the contrast is quite stark between where she is now and what she was thinking just a few months ago when she didn't have Salah.
Not being in a traditional job right now, I couldn't handle. I think that I
Oh,
have the
that's
ability
wonderful.
to do something that I love, and
So good,
that
Raven.
I can just kind of still have the time to focus on my well-being. I feel really blessed for that, but I feel also like I need it. Like, it's not like I feel like all of this time that I don't have spending on a normal job, I say normal for lack of a better term, any way you earn money to me and any way that you pay your bills or support yourself.
Now, this video, this Q&A is the reason Chantal got the audience that she did, because it's edited. And watching this video, you think she's pleasant, she's sort of well-spoken, like she's enough to fluff it. She's even-tempered, she's mild-mannered, what a lovely woman. But we know better. And this is why she's not going to be doing live streaming anymore, because her live streams highlight her true character. Her voice changes, her language changes, her reactions change, her emotions change. Just because she's not yelling doesn't mean that her intentions and her voice doesn't change. But watching this, if I was a new person coming to her channel, listening to this, I would have a very different view of her than I would of someone who's been watching her for a very, very long time. So this is how she cons people. This is how she scams people.
Is a job, in my opinion. And it takes all kinds of people to do all kinds of jobs to make the world go around, right? So, but learning new things and everything, if I'm at a place in the future where I'm super healthy and I'm just in a really good place, maybe, you never know, inshallah, like it could happen. Thank you for the question.
Ghost, my understanding would be is that you've got a pretty good understanding of Christianity for two reasons. Probably because either that was your default mode growing up, or you've had to learn about Christianity to defend yourself against those who criticize your paganism. That would be my understanding, because I want to know my enemy. I want to know the arguments that they're going to try and throw up at me so I can break them down and dismantle them. That's why I would probably be wanting to know a little bit more about their faith and their religion. It's because, well, no, that's not actually what that means. And this is how that would relate to what I'm saying. And to make the inaccuracies obvious. Would that be true? Would that be right?
Question. Fire Mistake asks, do you have a certain amount of calories you're aiming for daily, or are you just playing it by feel for now? Yeah, I don't count calories or anything like that. I don't even weigh myself. My gym doesn't have a scale, and we haven't purchased one yet.
So that's just
to be honest, I should have kept notes, but you know how I'm not organized, especially with health things.
Oh,
inshallah.
I don't like how the videos
it's like mind over matter. It might take a little while.
No.
Guys, Twice Divorce asked, hi Beezer, are you planning on taking courses for Arabic? Inshallah, yeah, I would like to eventually. So
I would like to eventually take language courses to learn Arabic. Eventually. I don't know about you, but I would be desperately learning from online, finding a tutor, using workbooks, working on it every single day actively. I'm living in a country where they speak Arabic. My religion is all done pretty much in Arabic. The prayers, the Quran, the people that I'm attending mosque with to do my prayers. Like, it's almost essential for existence to learn Arabic, considering you're living in an Arabic country. But maybe one day I'll get around to it. She's obviously taking this very seriously.
Teaching me, but I find that I learn mostly through everyday conversation, like I said, but I do need to take some courses.
How does your mum feel about your paganism though, Ghost? Is it not good? Is she okay? Does she accept it? Or is it a point of contention? Because that could be orcs. That could make Christmas orcs. It could make Easter orcs. As long as she's respectful of your faith as well, because it is a faith, it's a belief system. You should be cool, right? Yes.
They do offer some free courses at some places. So again, I've just been so busy on so many other things that I haven't even really had time to think about it, but thanks for reminding me. Squeaky from Hi Beezer asked, would you say there's room for critics reactors as long as they aren't hateful? It's your channel life, so it's fine if you say no, obviously. I used to be what you would call a hater, but then I really took notice of how vile some of the hate.
That's the difference, isn't it? Because Christianity tends to be our default mode, and that's fine because Christianity, like any religion, can be good, can be bad, it's got ugly, it's got good, every religion has that, right? But when you choose it as an adult, it has significant meaning for you. It delivers something, it provides you something, I find. It gives you something that you haven't had before, and you tend to hold on to it quite tightly. Whereas if it's a default mode, it's kind of like rote learning. You just say the things because they're the things you've been taught. You don't actually feel it deep down inside. But that's not to say you can't get there as an adult, but as a child, like this is your religion, it's a little bit different. And Baptist, does that mean that you're from the South there, Raven? Because that's the only kind of Baptist that I know about. Like it's usually like the southern states of America. I don't know if I'm being stereotypical, but yeah, that's all I know about that. Because I grew up Lutheran.
It wasn't decided to change my ways. I think there's room for people to not like you, but bullying and interference in your real life take it too far. And thank you for your question.
Well, Raven, I have going to look up what Beltrain and what was the other word? What's the other word? That's the word. Beltrain and I wrote it down. Oh, Ostara, because they're the kind of like the Easter equivalents. They're roughly around the same time of years. What that means in paganism, because we can explore other religions other than Islam and other than Christianity and Judaism and Buddhism, and we can look at like if it's happening around this time of the year, let's look at those belief systems as well. Because I'm curious, because I want to know more. I know tiny little bits, and I want to know more. And because Ghost's birthday is coming up, we might be able to do something on the 14th regarding that. We might be able to do a little video, a little fact finding, or a little member stream or something to celebrate and talk about it.
CM Punk, thank you for your questions, Squeaky from Beezer.
Deductive reasoning. She watches a lot of Sherlock Holmes, you see.
Yeah, of course. I don't have a problem with like constructive criticism. Obviously, I don't like bullying, but I've come to a lot of realizations recently about all of this. And I think I have a really huge responsibility and role to play in the amount of trolling, the amount of hate that I've gained online. I think it's because of all the attention I've given to it. And
it's not the attention. It is. It's two things. It is the amount of attention that she gives to it. It's the way she responds to it. The blame that she puts on the audience for her response, the lack of responsibility, and the lack of remorse for her reactions, and the way she doubles down and she makes it the audience's fault for her own response. But the other thing is that the things that she does and she says would garner criticism and people not liking her, because the things that she say and does would literally put people off from wanting to be around her, be her friend, or enjoying her content. Some people watch her and still like her. And I find that very interesting, that a whole bunch of us could watch the one person and walk away thinking one thing and walk away thinking another and still consider ourselves good people. Like, she's not even a fuzzy line. She's one or the other, to be honest, in my mind, but that's just me. I just don't know how anyone can watch her and be like, yeah, she's aces. She's totes aces. I want to know more.
You know, when you highlight something, when you pay so much attention to it, it's going to grow. And I'm probably largely responsible for a lot of hate channels becoming as big as they have. So, I realize, the key is to just do me and ignore the rest. And
it's not hate channels. It's reaction channels. The reaction is that they don't like or don't understand why you are the way you are and why you do things you do. Because we don't love what you're doing doesn't mean we hate it. We may not like it, but it's not hate channels. Not every single one of us. I don't even think any of us are hate channels. We are consistently like critical of her content, but I don't think that makes us hate channels.
That's what I'm going to try my hardest to do. And how I do that is just by not watching it, not looking at it, not reacting to it. People are always going to hate, right? The classic saying, haters are going to hate. There's nothing I can do about that. It's also classic saying that you can only control your response. And no matter how much I would, be just screaming into the void, I'm doing this all in self-defense. I'm acting like a bee.
She wasn't screaming into the void, though. She was screaming directly at and about people. She was screaming about Dee Dee. She was screaming about Nada. She's screaming about all the other reaction channels, you know, the big ones that she doesn't like, little ones that she's taken note of. She wasn't screaming into a void. She was screaming at her, at and to her beezers, and they would go and do what they need to do. She was screaming at and commenting in people's comment sections and going into people's chats directly. And she was making entire streams talking shit about people. She wasn't screaming into a void. She was directing her anger and her vitriol at specific targets. That's not screaming into a void.
Return in self-defense, and it's like, but it's still my reaction and I'm responsible for that. So these have been really hard.
Apparently bright colors are not. Bright colors are like, they want you to express yourself. You're just not supposed to use yellow. Apparently yellow's a bad color, but you're allowed to express yourself with clothing. You're allowed to express your personality through beautiful clothes and elegant wear, as long as you keep it modest and you're not wearing it to attract sexual or romantic, to seduce. It's simply for the elegance of the items of clothing. That is it. And you don't, it says you've got to hide the form, which basically means you don't walk around in a skin tight bodysuit, but you're allowed to show hips. You're allowed to show bust, the shape of it, at least, like not cleavage, and it's not got to be like super, super, super skin tight, but you're allowed to show that you're a woman, but in a modest way. As far as what I can see from bloggers that are Muslim, what I've read, different countries, different continents, different breakdowns from different fashion bloggers, you are allowed to show your form as long as it's done in a modest way. So the fact that she's wearing these big baggy abayas, that's her choice, because that's probably what's comfortable and that's what fits.
Lessons learned, and I think that I keep cycling between that, you know, raging and being angry and upset, and because I never learned the lesson. So until I finally do, then you'll know, because then I won't be coming online and raging anymore. So, but yeah, I do.
But you see, like, the makeup thing is questionable, because you see their weddings done to the nines, special occasions, beautiful hair, beautiful makeup, beautiful outfits. I think the makeup is considered haram when it's worn to be salacious, and it has to be removed when you're doing the prayers. So I don't think all these Muslim women are walking around with their hair done. They're doing it for special occasions and things like that. You wouldn't wear it day to day unless you're going to a special event, like you would in the West. You don't get done up unless you're going to work. You don't get done up unless you're going to a wedding. You don't get dressed up unless you're going to unless you're going to something. And then in between, you go to prayer, you wash it all off and do your thing. So makeup's okay as long as it's not like in the way of your faith, I guess, and the practices within it.
There's always going to be commentary, and I think that commentary, constructive, analyzing content in a constructive manner is very important. You know, when someone puts something out, talking about it in a way that brings up ideas and talking points is important. We're human beings.
But okay, so the Baptists don't believe in ghosts. However, does that mean they don't believe in the Holy Trinity? Because isn't that the Holy Spirit? That's isn't that a reference to the three phases? Holy Ghost, you know? I don't know. I don't know, but I would assume that ghosts are okay.
We like to analyze, we like to criticize, we like to rationalize. So for people to try and rationalize my behavior and all this and that, I think it's normal. And no, I don't have a problem with that. But thank you for admitting you used to be a hater. And I think that a lot of haters are just people who may have just been. Hi guys. I miss you guys so.
Oh no. What happened?
Yeah, of course. I don't have a problem with like, and no matter how much I would, you know, be just screaming into the void, I'm doing this all in self-defense. I'm acting like a bee in return in self-defense, and it's like, but it's still my reaction and I'm responsible for that. So these have been really hard lessons learned, and I think that I keep cycling between.
Now, she's just ugh. So basically the Q&A was just her getting prompts for the little speech that she wanted to give, because none of these questions are what anybody wants to know. How did you meet? What's your wedding date? Marriage certificate? Nobody wants to know the answers to these questions. It's all bullshit. It was just a way for her to give the speech and apologize without apologizing. Because it's like, I'm responsible for my behavior, blah, 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 blah. That's what she really wanted to say. So she's picked the questions that would cue the answers she wanted to give. So yeah, I'm done with this because it was just all crap anyway. Okie jokes. Yeah. So we've got Raven, Christy, and Ghost. Guys, it's been a success. I'm going to go write down some notes so I can remember how to set up the live stream. Which is fantastic. I'm so glad that the three of you, my three little babes, were here today. The cookie cutters, woohoo! Cookie cutter 4, that was us. Because Christy was here, Ghost saw it, and Raven's here. Aww. So I've got a couple of things I need to go and research. I've got those things written down, Ghost. I'll remember the 14th. I'll put that in my diary. I'll put it in a couple of days early so I can get some stuff prepared. So we've had a successful members only stream. Woohoo! So next time, I'm going to try and do it at a better time so we can have some more people in here with us. What time would be a good time for you guys? Like day wise, is an evening better? Is middle of the day better? I don't know, because I figure some people are going to be at work, so they can't. And then people have families and downtime at night time. But those times, other people are streaming, and I don't want to step on toes and stuff. So I kind of want to get the gauge from what's better for you. And then I'm going to do the opposite time, because I know there are some insomniacs out there that are probably going to be up when I'm up. So, we do them all the time, and I will just do random ones. So now that I've worked out how to do the member streams, I'll be doing them more often, but I'll also do spontaneous ones as well. So when I can, so keep you on your toes, and I'm doing some member videos as well. I know it's nice when there's only a few people in here, because you can I can read your comments and we can engage and I can answer you back. And I think that's the beauty of the member streams, is that it is small numbers and it feels more intimate. And that was my goal with the member stream. And that's why I was so annoyed that I couldn't get it to work, because that was important for me to be able to create that atmosphere of like one-on-one, because that's what you're paying for. The exclusivity of being able to have an easy conversation. It's not missed. I'm answering your questions. You're talking, like, it's literally like we're having a conversation, which is fantastic. And it gives me a chance to get little bits and pieces about you guys too that I can take note of, so that when I do member streams, I can almost curate them for each person almost. So like a birthday is coming up or an interest that you have, we can be all interested in it together. And that was my goal with starting the memberships, is that we could start like a little not a little club, but a little group where we all get to know each other via me. I'm basically a facilitator, and we can all learn new things, understand each other a bit better, have nice conversations, and then shit talk Chantal occasionally as a buffer. That's the goal, basically. Yeah. 4 or 5 hours later. So lunchtime's better for you. So that would mean it would be 4 or 5. Yeah, I did the stream at 3 o'clock the other day in the morning, and that worked great for you guys. And it's good for me on my days off. I figured 3 a.m.s is probably the best times. 3 to 5 is good. So, and I sometimes wake up at that time. So that's not bad for me. It's probably crazy for some, but it actually works all right for me, because I have kids and I don't work during the middle of the week. So it's perfect. Oh, okay. So no madness. She's been struck, correct? Does that mean she can't upload, or she can't do videos, or what? Because I can do a mid-morning coffee chat on my days off. But if no madness is, I don't want to step on her toes. I don't want to steal her thunder. But maybe I can take that little bit of slot until she can come back. Maybe so that way the void doesn't feel so bad, and then when she comes back, she can get that back. So maybe I might do something like that. Maybe an open chat for everybody around that time, because I've got to go to work tomorrow because it's Easter Monday. I get that public holiday pay, which is awesome. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm off. So I will be around. So maybe I will try and do a mid-morning stream, and then I can do a like an early morning stream for me and then a mid-morning stream for you guys, because I'll be able to get some sleep in between because I have nothing else to do other than clean and play with my cat, because that's literally what I do on my days off. Oh, okay. So maybe just in the interim until she comes back, maybe I'll see if I can organize that. So do we just bring a cup of coffee and we shoot the shit? Is that what we do? Because I can certainly do that. That's not a problem. You would probably be right on. You're spot on with that, Raven. I would believe that that is what Chantal is as well. She's a shapeshifter, basically. She shapeshifts into whatever her partner at the time requires her to be. She has no sense of self and no self-insight. That's what I believe anyway. Oh, goodness. Oh, poor Baba. Sorry. I'm sorry, but I can't control. They're not my birds. They're the birds. They're everybody's birds. They're not specifically mine. But see, this is the thing. I do the streams and I'm sitting in the backyard and I'm just so used to that background noise that I hardly hear them when I'm talking to you guys. And when I go back to watch the streams, because I actually go back to watch the live chat so I can make notes and try and remember the things people have said, because I miss a lot of comments when I'm doing this. So I try to go back and read the chat at least. I can really hear them. I'm like, how can you guys listen to this? They are nuts sometimes. Like it sounds like they're fighting, and then they're high, and then you'll hear whoop, 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 whoop in the background, and then there'll be a magpie, and then there'll be like, I think I even heard a kookaburra one time, and I'm like, oh my God, this is insane. But a lot of people love it. And I think it's because it's different sounds. They probably sound very different to the birds that you're used to at home. Yeah. Alrighty, guys. Well, we've done the stream. We've had a successful members only stream. I'm so happy. I'm a technical genius. I'm a technical genius. Now, if only I can remember how I did it. I think I'm going to make notes so I can remember how to do it next time. I'm giving myself a high five. High five. Good job. Good job. All right. Oh, poor, I feel bad for him now. You might have to get him a birdie. Like you could plant a bird behind your TV and he'd be like, I found it. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. I've got some work to do. I'm going to go and have a little snackety snack. Finish my drink, go watch some TikToks. Oh, that is what I was going to do. There is a TikTok channel that I watch, and it is called, what's it called? Let me see if I can bring it up. Now, you know how Sala and Chantal, like, we are the perfect couple. We are so cute and fresh and creamy. No, they are not. There is this TikTok couple that I watch, and I've only just found them in the last couple of days, and I'm in love with them. Like, I want to be in a throuple with these people. I'm going to see if I can find them. Let me see. Let me see. I'm on my TikToks. I've got who am I following? They are called Lily Lou Tay. Okay, if you go onto TikTok, look them up. They are a southern couple. I have no idea where they live. They live in this house. It looks like it's in the woods on a lake maybe, or a river or a creek or something. They have a boat. She makes homemade goods. She's always making wines and mayonnaise from scratch. He makes her coffee, but the way they look at each other, it's almost uncomfortable, but not quite. Like, this is a middle-aged couple that are into each other. Their body language, the way they talk to each other, the way they look at each other. It's like you can tell that they are in love and in lust with each other. That is their body language and language is in love. Completely different to what we see from Chantal. They're just awkward and weird. But go onto, see if I can bring them up. I've got them on my phone, but I don't know if you can see that. That's what they look like. She's so pretty. Oh my God. See, look. They're just into each other, and I really enjoy watching their stuff. So yeah, and I'm enjoying TikTok again. I've been watching it like mad the last couple of, like maybe the last week or so. I was into it, stopped watching it for months and months and months, and now I'm back into it, and I'm finding a whole lot of new content that I'm really enjoying. So yay! So yeah. Okay. Oh, Raven, then leave. Dump him like a big bag of shit and find you someone nice. Don't waste your life on somebody who doesn't appreciate you. And if you're going to be someone's maid, at least be paid to be their maid. There's nothing wrong with cleaning up after people as long as you're getting appropriately compensated. So if your boyfriend doesn't like you and you are just a maid to him, you need to fuck him right off. And I mean that. Don't waste your life. And don't waste your sobriety on somebody who doesn't appreciate you. That's all I'm going to say. All right. Yeah. Tell him to come to me and we'll have a little sit down and little cooks will have a little chat to your useless boyfriend. All right. Okay. Well, I'm going to go and I'm going to do some things. And I hope everyone has a great day because I know you're only just starting your day and I hope it is absolutely wonderful. Bye, guys. Bye-bye. Well, let's sit down, Raven, and see if we can't come up with a good plan, hey? Bye. Bye-bye. I've got to find the button. Bye.